Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Devaney Brothers, Daniel's Desire, by Sherryl Woods. Performed by Luke Daniels. Chapter 1. It was just past midnight on the longest day of the year for Molly Creighton. Each time this particular anniversary rolled around, it stole another piece of her. Her heart ached, and her soul, well, there were times like this when she thought she no longer had one. Over the years she'd come to accept the fact that life was unpredictable and sometimes cruel. She'd lost her parents at a very early age, but she'd survived thanks to the love of her grandfather. Jess had been a hard man, but he'd had a soft spot for her, and he'd raised her to believe in herself and to handle just about anything life tossed her way. There had been only one thing that had been too much for her, one loss that she hadn't been able to push aside so that she could get on with the business of living. Oh, she went through the motions just fine. She ran Jess's, the waterfront bar in Widow's Cove, Maine, that had been her grandfather's. She had a huge circle of acquaintances and a tighter circle of friends. But she didn't have the one thing that really mattered. She didn't have her baby. She blamed Daniel Devaney for that. Daniel had been the love of her life, though they were about as opposite in personality as any two people could be. Molly had always been, at least until a few years ago, a free spirit. She'd embraced life because she knew all too well how short it could be. Daniel was an uptight stickler for the rules. He was logical and methodical. Maybe that was even what had drawn her to him. She'd enjoyed messing with his head, keeping him thoroughly off-kilter, almost as much as she'd thrilled to his slow, deliberate caresses. They'd known each other practically forever, though his family lived in a small town a half-hour away from Widow's Cove. They'd gone to high school together, where Daniel had been the star football player, and she'd been the ultimate party girl, dating a dozen different guys before she'd finally gone out with Daniel. One date had put an end to her days of playing the field. One kiss had sealed their fate. Even though Daniel had gone away to college and Molly hadn't, they'd been a couple, spending every free moment together. She thought she'd known his heart and his secrets, but she hadn't known the big one, the one that would tear them apart.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?